Hi everyone, it's Lucy from My Crazy Craft Life, and I'm here today with some inspiration for the flavor of the month, September 2019 card kit. The theme is Fall is Coming, and I was actually only able to get through 2 of the collection so far. I am planning on doing more, but I have 8 cards with the 2 collections. So collection 1, which you're going to find in this flavor of the month kit, is Frightful Cuties paper by Scrapping for Less, Scaredy Cat stamp by Sunny Studios, Kitty ephemera by Simple Stories, word icon stickers by Thickers, black twine and enamel dots by Gina Marie Designs. So with this collection, I began by stamping the image from the stamp set and then coloring a couple of them in. I did not leave all of the coloring in here, just a little bit of it. For collection 2, you're going to get Cozy Fall paper by Scrapping for Less, Sweater Weather stamp by Paper Sweeties, Seam binding ribbon by Paper Sweeties, Forever Fall stickers by Simple Stories, and enamel dots by Gina Marie Designs. Now those are the 2 collections that you're going to see in this video. Those are the ones that I made these cards from. So once I finish up coloring these, I do use my scan and cut to cut out the images. And this first card that I made, I don't know, I forgot to hit record. I don't know, I just forgot to hit record. But basically what I did was take the stickers that were on there and just put it into a card form, just stuck them on there. I did do some Distress Oxide blending on top of the black card just to give it a little color. It's very muted, as you'll be able to see in the picture, but I like the way it turned out, and with those sequins, the way they're kind of iridescent looking, it kind of gives the same effect on the back of the card. So the rest of it, I just used a lot of the papers that were part of this set. I used some of those cutouts that were there along with the colored stamp, the colored images or the stamped images. So for this next card, I used this ribbon and a couple of the papers from the set, and I cut kind of a, it's not even a half circle, a quarter of a circle that I cut out to kind of stick in the corner of the card just to kind of hold that cat. But I stuck the ribbon around long ways on the paper, and then I heat embossed the sentiment that says Happy Halloween onto the card. I did end up popping this up because when I heat embossed it, it kind of warped the paper a little bit, and so I just wanted to make sure that it stayed nice and straight when I put it onto the card. And sometimes if you can put it on some of the fun foam or something like that, then it will give it a little sturdiness in the background and make sure that it stays kind of put. So that was the images that I stuck there in the corner, and then I just popped that entire card. Now the panel is the same size as the card. It's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 in A2 size card. That's what all of these cards are. And then I used some of the enamel dots on there, and I picked up a couple that I had sitting on my desk just to give it a little bit of a different color. And then that's pretty much it for this second card. Now the third card, again, I used some paper from the collections, and I just cut out a strip, and then I used one of the cutouts, and I was going to cut it, but I decided my cutting skills aren't the greatest, so let me just use my paper trimmer. And then I just kind of pieced it together using one of the kitty ephemera and a piece of another piece just as a strip kind of on the background, and I used those brooms. I just thought that was really cute. So that strip is about 1 inch wide, and then it's 4 inches because that panel is actually 4 inches by 5 1/4, and so it'll be a little bit smaller to kind of give that frame around the card. And I liked the white with just this background and the way the images were, kind of with the borders around the images and then the frame around the cutout. Now here I was just cutting out the rest of these cutouts from the paper. And this one I'm actually going to end up putting, I don't know why, but I was having a hard time figuring out a size for that. And I did end up getting it fine, but I decided I wanted to do it kind of kitty corner or kind of wonky on there, and so then I ended up cutting off the end so that it kind of went corner to corner across the paper, and then used that. Now I went back and forth with what I was going to use and how I was going to use this, and then I did end up deciding to use the ghost paper with the little ghost kitty ephemera and then that cutout part. So I do use the green background. Again, this panel is 4 inches by 5 1/4. The strip in the background is about 1 1/4 inches, and the black mat that I used in the background of that spider is 2 3/4 inches by 2.5 inches. And then, like I said, I just kind of put that cutout piece, kitty corner in there, catty corner, however you want to say it. And then I just pieced those the rest of that together, glued everything down, and that is it for that card. So what else is in this, in the banana split level? You're going to receive an Autumn Blessings die by Scrapping for Less, Fall Greeting Sentiment stamp by Scrapping for Less, Nouveau drops in a random color, and enamel dots in a random color. I do end up using the Autumn Blessings die. It's a very pretty die. Now for this final card that I made with this kit, I used a background piece that is 4 inches by 5 1/4, and then the strip that is going to go on top of it is 2 inches wide and 4 1/4 inches long, so it's going to go across the entire card even though the back panel doesn't. I do heat emboss the Happy Halloween onto that little piece there, and then I just cut it out, and I'm going to use that as the sentiment, kind of right smack in the middle of the strip that's on there. And then I just used the colored image and popped that on top of there. I kind of went back and forth on what I was wanting to do in the colors, and I decided I liked the black background for the card with those pots brewing, and then the pumpkins in the front with the pumpkin kitty on the top of it. So that's it for that card. Now, the cardstocks that you got in this collection were Tangy Orange, Black Licorice, Wild Cherry, Grape Jelly, Limeade, and Chocolate Brown. They are 100-pound high-quality colored cardstock that you do get in this. Plus you get 2 sheets of Neenah 110-pound Classic Crest Smooth Solar White and 4 A2 size white envelopes. Now, the next collection that I went into was that sweater weather stamp, which is absolutely adorable. And I decided I wanted to use the wreath builder with this and make a few cards with that. So I did not leave all of it in here because I ended up making 3 cards pretty much exactly the same, just using a different color. But I did use the 4-inch, so that's a 4-inch square that I have in there. And I kind of had it off a little bit because I originally was going to use the smaller one and then decided I wanted to use the bigger one. So I had to just kind of move that around a little bit. And I just went all the way around with this. These Hero Arts were inks that I got in a kit at some point, and I just thought they were perfect fall colors. It's like a wine, a rust orange, and then a olive green color. I don't know the exact names off right at this moment, but they are, like I said, just perfect fall colors for this. And then if I would have realized that the Nouveau drops I got were glow in the dark, I would have actually probably used those on some of the Halloween cards, but I wasn't aware of that until after I looked at it. I guess, I should have read better before I sat down. I just thought they were yellow, and I was actually really excited because I don't have yellow Nouveau drops. So then I took the stamp of the coffee mug and I stamped it in the center of the wreath, and then there are little small stamps like a pumpkin, a heart, and a leaf that I stamped inside of the sweaters on all of these. Now for 2 of the cards I did end up using craft paper and stamping on the craft paper. Those were the colors. I am using Copic markers to do the coloring on here, and again I'm just going to leave one because I colored them all the same exact color. I like the coloring on the craft. I wasn't sure how that was going to turn out, but I think it ended up turning out really well. And for the craft cardstocks, I used a chocolate brown Your Next stamp ink pad to do the stamping for that. And on the white panel I used black Memento black, tuxedo black ink, and then VersaFine for the little images that went inside of the sweaters. Now each one of these cards I made a little bit different as far as how they went. So for the first one, I am cutting down, and because the panel was white with that wine burgundy-ish color that was in there, but then I realized I stamped the image not really wrong. Oh yeah, I guess it's wrong because it couldn't fit in onto the card going in the right direction so that the 4-inch square could fit onto the A2 size card. So I ended up deciding to make it go oblong and leave it like that. So I thought that was kind of cool, and I liked the white in the flowers of that background paper, and then I used a white card base to, like I said, just kind of create that whole white with the accents from the image. And then I did use the yellow Nouveau drops on this card. Then for my second one with this, I cut out the Autumn Blessings from the die in a brown cardstock, just brown that I had in my, actually it was just sitting on my desk to be perfectly honest, and it went perfectly with what I was trying to do. So I used the chocolate brown card base for this card, and you can't really see it in the video, but it's a blue sweater pattern paper that is absolutely gorgeous. There's a off-white color one in there as well in the pad, in the paper pack that you get, and I loved it with the blue of the mug and then the green olive of the sweaters and then the brown with the card base and the Autumn Blessings, and then, like I said, the ink that I used along with that. And then after I kind of placed that 4-inch square down towards the bottom of the card, and that panel is not, it's 4 1/8 by 5 3/8, so it's not a whole 1/4 inch. It's a very thin border around the card base itself. Then for my last and final card with these two collections, I did the same thing, and I used a green denim looking paper that I made the whole size of the card, and I placed the sweater weather sentiment on the top on a strip that was left over from the craft paper that I had cut out into the 4-inch squares. Now for the rest of the Scrapping for Less kit, you also received in Collection 3 Fall Foliage Paper by Scrapping for Less, Thankful Floral Stamp by Trinity Stamps, Sunflower Stickers by Sticko, Embellishment Mix by Trinity Stamps, and Enamel Dots by Gina Marie Designs. And in Collection 4, Woodland Critters, you got Woodland Critters Paper by Scrapping for Less, Woodland Friends Stamp Set by Scrapping for Less, Green White Twine by Teresa, Color in Cut Apart by Parts by Photoplay, and Enamel Dots by Gina Marie Designs. So that is the kit. Those are all 8 of my cards. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for stopping by, and take care.